Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Monday, March 3rd. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see right there will be moving around and changing. That is because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. Second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here, as they're called, represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol TRNR, and this has been a very bizarre chart over the past couple days. Now the third day in a row I've done it, but the first day was up and then it got really ugly. Then the next day up and then got really ugly. And then today up and then started to get very ugly, but finally things turned around and boom, back up it went. So just a very bizarre set of days. I mentioned yesterday about deja vu, but not quite deja vu here because the price at least did recover back upwards. So I'll get rid of those lines down there. And now we have a good solid pattern as we head into Monday. So let's get this pattern drawn into play here. So we have this area of resistance right here. And then we have this area of support down there. Let me change that to green for support. And then just to make the pattern easier to see, let me keep it one color, same color here. So we have our area of resistance. We have our support. We have the big upwards move right there. And then for you golfers out there, try to make it a little bit more visual, put the golf hole down here. This would be a bull pennant pattern. Now, just because it's a bullish pattern doesn't mean for sure guarantee the price is going to go upwards. But is it valid? Is it reasonable to think that if the price comes up here and pushes up through there, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure? That's certainly a valid thought to have. Again, not guaranteed to happen, but nobody could accuse you of being crazy or not actually thinking through things. That is certainly a plausible set of circumstances. So if you like stocks down below $5, you like bull pennant patterns, keep an eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol BTAI. And overall, the chart's hanging in there now. It's a little bit tricky to talk about things because it's all about perspective. I mean, if you're a day trader, flipper, scalper, and you bought up there and your plan was to buy and sell within, 12 minutes, well, then yes, from that standpoint, the chart looks really bad because there was a bigger pullback. But assuming you care about the bigger picture point of view, the price is still building higher bases. So it's showing signs of progress. So from the overarching standpoint, you still got to give the advantage to the bulls. And I would say as long as the price stays above that purple line there, the 50-period moving average, then from, again, keyword there being the overall standpoint of things, bulls are still in control, and that is a 50-period moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher and basically become an uptrending trend line that draws itself for you. So as long as the price stays above the quote-unquote uptrending trend line, then the overall trend, well, by definition, is in the bullish direction. In terms of levels of resistance, key level here in the near term, all about that pink line, which on my chart represents the famous 200-period moving average. And you can see ever since the price fell back below it, it's gone back to acting as resistance a couple of times. If the price does push up through there, the next key area of resistance to keep a close eye on, I would keep an eye right up there around $2.60. So like I said, depending on your vantage point, from the bigger picture point of view, sure there was a pullback, but overall the price does still have the opportunity to start to build an uptrend. Next one here, WULF, and very, very impressive mover today. Talked about this one yesterday, and I drew in these couple areas of support, both here and here. And if you did watch yesterday's video, and really if you played any of these supports, because, this general area here, especially that one right there, mapped out that line, previous video. So if you played that, a big congratulations to you. I'm sure you're having yourself a very good weekend because, yes, there is a huge move up. So I'm going to go ahead and just get rid of these lines as they serve their purpose for now. And first key update is just based on a foundational rule in charting, which states when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So moving forward, right there at about 393 would be the ideal level of support. Ideal meaning, if you say, Clay, what would make this chart look the absolute healthiest and strongest moving forward? And that would certainly be if the price can stay above there. With that being said, if the price falls below that level, that does not mean the entire chart's destroyed or anything like that. Because from the bigger picture, we have the purple line there, which you now know is a 50-period moving average. So as that line moves higher and higher, as I just talked about, from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price stays above that line, as the line itself moves higher and higher, then the bulls are still in full control of the overall chart. In terms of areas of resistance, next key battleground to watch now very closely going into next week, all about that pink line up there, which again, as the 200-period moving average. So there's definitely still some room to run for it to get up there. But if it does, no guarantees that is going to be the area of resistance, but I would certainly expect there to be some sort of battle up around that area. Current value of that is at $4.50. But all in all, very, very nice way to end the week. Next one here, looking at PLTR, and the drift downwards continues. Once again, put in lower lows here. And yeah, it's just like I said, the selling pressure remains fully intact. Now, the good news here, and we'll see if it develops into anything, there's still work that needs to be done. But you had a low here, and then you had this attempted push down here. But on this attempted push downwards, how low did it actually go? Well, it only went right there before starting to go back up. So in other words, do have some higher lows in play. So that doesn't necessarily guarantee anything, but it does make it a little logical to have a little hope that, okay, maybe the bulls are starting to show up. Maybe the bulls are trying to start to make a presence. Now, earlier I mentioned there is still work that needs to be done, and that has to do with this purple line right here. I'm not really convinced of anything on the bullish part until the price can prove itself by not only getting above that level, but staying up above it. And you can see yesterday, price broke above it and then failed, and then that level went right back into boom, 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 rejecting the price back down. Again, that doesn't mean that the purple line cannot be broken, but it does illustrate that, yes, this has been a very stubborn area on the chart, and that even though the price has put in some higher lows, which, like I said, it makes sense. Okay, start to have some hope. But I'm just saying I want to have too much hope because, yeah, the price still needs, it has more work to do, and it's got to prove itself by getting above the purple line there. But, yeah, some higher lows on the day for PLTR, so let's see if the bulls can build upon that next week. Next one here, we are looking at NVDA, and like PLTR, good in the sense of, because it did put in newer lows here, but good in the sense of, okay, you had a low here, then the price tried to push back downwards, but on the push back downwards, only made it that far before the price started to head back up. So again, have the higher lows, but also like PLTR, I'm still not necessarily convinced of anything bullish because the price has still got work to be done. So in this situation, what is the quote-unquote work that needs to be done? Well, twofold. First step, let's see, can it get back above that area of resistance right there at 124.20? And then the second, can it get back above the purple line there, 50-period moving average? If it can accomplish both those things, then in my opinion, it becomes more plausible to start to suggest, okay, looking like the bulls are starting to get their mojo back, looking like they're trying to gain and trying to build some sort of momentum. But until then, I'd be skeptical, and personally, I'm skeptical. And then the other, I would say, I don't want to say do or die level, but important area is this area right here at 118. Price did ultimately find some support down there, dropped slightly below it, but then once it got back above it, went right back to acting as support. And the reason why that's important is even if it just does something like this, that would still be bullish in the sense of, well, at least the price is still just simply going sideways compared to putting in new lows, which is what it's been doing for the past several days. So you may be saying, well, that's setting the bar kind of low, that something's bullish just because it's going sideways. Well, yeah, when stocks enter into these downwards moves, step one in terms of anything getting turned around is just, can the price at least go sideways? So if the price can maintain above 118, that does show that the price is going sideways, which again suggests that, okay, maybe the price is finally leveling out and getting ready to curl back upwards. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering next week. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about how I use this tool to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description area, or if you're watching right at my website, there's an area on the webpage that you can use to sign up. So like I said, if you've been enjoying, then definitely get signed up for the free class. Next one here, SOUN, and a very nice day today and a good quality pattern here. So let's just get the pattern drawn in. I think that makes the most sense here. So top part of the pattern right there at $10.85. Then we have that trend line right there. So let me change that to green for support. And then just to make the pattern easiest to see, let's keep it all one color. So we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the big move there. And once again, for you golfers, put the golf down here. So we have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. I've already talked about one bull pennant, so no need to repeat anything. But overall, keep an eye on it. No guarantees, but if the price can come up here and get a push up through 1085, then it's a plausible thought that maybe that sparks more momentum and you get another surge in the upwards direction. But at the end of the day, if you like bull pennants, here you go. Next one here, we are looking at TSLA Tesla, and it is actually broken out of this sideways channel and has behaved the way you'd want to see it behave from a technical standpoint. What do I mean by that? Well, let's just start with the top of this channel, which I've drawn from other videos. But right there, got the break of it. And at that point, you would want to see this area, this resistance, now behave as support. So it went sideways and then it came down. But look right where it found some support, right at that level. Kind of cruised a little bit right on top of that former breakout area and has now got separation back to the upwards direction. So that's encouraging in and of itself. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those lines as they serve their purpose for now. And moving forward, like a lot of these other ones that I've talked about, PLTR and so on, NVDA, yes, you have higher lows, but there's still work that needs to be done. And right now, Tesla is working on it. As I speak, it is doing battle with that purple line 50-period moving average. which I've talked about on some of these other charts. So that's really going to be the big question mark going into next week is, can the price finally get back above that purple line? It has been a very, very long time since the price has been up above that purple line. You can see ever since it fell below it there, I mean, that purple line just rejected, and then finally got back down. So it's been, like I said, quite a bit since the price has been able to do battle with that purple line. So that is definitely going to be the big question mark into next week. Do these higher lows mean anything? Well, the first step in letting us know if they mean anything or not is, can the price break above and stay above that purple line? So we'll see what happens. Next one, ORGO. And as of now, looking very, very impressive, but also valid question, is there going to be the double top pattern? You can see now that earlier on during the opening 30 minutes, the price got rejected at 575. And then right here during the final 30 minutes, the price has been rejected at 575. Now the market is still open for another 15 minutes. So if you're watching this video, because by the time you're watching on YouTube, you'll know how this closed. But if the price is up through 575, then all that's telling you is it couldn't have really done anything better. It got the breakout during the final 30 minutes, and that is a very, very good thing. Now, even right now, it's not like the chart's terrible. It's just a question of, is this going to be some sort of double top where you have resistance 1, resistance 2, and then produces some sort of pullback? Now, double tops does not mean it's going to fully reverse and go down and crash and fill the gap. I'm not making that claim. I'm just saying if the double top does hold up, then yeah, it becomes a valid scenario to throw out there that maybe this thing needs to pull back a little bit before it can potentially curl back upwards and try 575 again. But as of right now, fantastic volume, very nice movement. Clearly a very strong afternoon. It's grinded higher and higher, and it's just a question of 575, can it break? But again, if you're watching this and you're looking at the close and saying, well, Clay, my chart shows it above 575. Well, fantastic. That is telling you that the double top has been eliminated and that you have a breakout headed into the weekend. Next one, PMAX, and I'm going to go through this very quickly because you've already heard me talk about this pattern a couple of times, but I mean, this is a very nice looking bull pennant pattern. So there is our resistance. There is our support. And just because I cannot help myself, let's keep it the same color just so I can make sure everybody sees it. So resistance, support, big upwards move, golf hole down here. Like I said, not the first bull pennant I've talked about. I'd say the biggest difference here is this one just happens to be a penny stock. So if the other ones have been out of your price range because you only trade penny stocks, well, here you go, a bull pennant in penny stock form. Next one here, SMCI, and same general idea of a lot of these. Nice bounce, came back down, although this one really didn't get much of a secondary bounce, but nonetheless, it did still build a higher base. So does this higher base lead to anything else moving forward? Is it the start of something bigger? It could be, but I'm not convinced because the price needs to prove itself. And in SMCI's, how is SMCI going to prove itself? Just that chart line right there, which I drew, I think, a couple days ago. So as long as the price is down below there, I am skeptical of any sort of move in the upwards direction. But if next week the price can come up here and push up through there, then yeah, I'm willing to start to change the conversation and say, all right, yeah, maybe this is truly strong. Maybe the bulls are actually establishing some momentum. But until that happens, like I said, in my personal opinion, be skeptical. If the price does come back down, then 38.30 is going to be a very important level that you're going to want to watch from a support standpoint. But really, as straightforward as that on SMCI, yeah, it's trying to build a higher low, but still has work that needs to be done. So keep a close eye on that trend line next week. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here and you want to learn more about this tool and how it should be used, then definitely get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be next week, Thursday, March 6th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So I hope to see you there. As far as the top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy these, please hit that like button. And also, if you're looking for a super free and easy way to support the channel, subscribe. Hitting the subscribe button actually really does help out. So if you could do that, like I said, that really does help. So thanks for watching. Have a great weekend and make sure you get signed up for that class next week.